Guys, I get it. Shorts and t-shirt are really comfortable. I live somewhere that is really hot all year round, so I totally relate to the need for practicality and the need for comfort and for staying cool. But I think you can wear shorts and t-shirts and still look stylish. And if you follow the steps that I'm going to outline in this video, you can keep wearing your favorite uniform for the day, but you're gonna look 10 times more stylish and just as comfortable. So I'm gonna break down these outfits piece by piece, starting with the t-shirt. Fit is everything when it comes to the t-shirt, and for that reason, I really recommend one brand in particular that totally changed my relationship with t-shirts. I used to be a super skinny guy, and t-shirts would always look too big on me. They'd always make my arms look smaller, and they'd always have way too much extra material around the waist. At the same time, I know much bigger guys who have different problems. You know, you have to get a big size to fit your stomach and your waist, but then it's way too big on the shoulders and the arms are too baggy. True Classic has really solved that problem for all men. Their shirts are made from a really nice and comfortable, stretchy, soft cotton, and they just fit your body like a glove. And if you are a guy who is maybe conscious about one of your features on your body, for example, you might have a bit more weight around your stomach than you would like, then the t-shirt is going to cover that sufficiently while still fitting your upper body well. Obviously, the best way to look good in any kind of clothes is always to improve your physique, but True Classic really does as much work as clothing can do for you. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I really enjoy this brand, and they have some great prices, great customer service, so I totally encourage you to check them out next time you're stocking up on t-shirts. When it comes to colors, you should start sticking with more plain shirts. White is a classic for a reason. I also really like navy. I would avoid black for most men, and I'll get a bit more onto that later in the video. I think some other good alternatives are burgundy, emerald green, grey, and also beige. You really want to avoid logos and especially avoid graphic tees if you're trying to be stylish and sophisticated. If you find that a bit too boring, you can also go with a tee with a pocket. Just adds a little bit extra detail, but I think it's super stylish. Of course, you could also swap the t-shirt for a polo shirt like I'm wearing now, but I want to keep things super simple and not change too much for now. So we're going to stick with a classic well-fitting tee in a neutral color with no logos and no writing. Well, now we come to the shorts, and in my opinion this is a big offender for a lot of guys. Guys, the cargo shorts are for practical work. If you're in the garden, you need to put things in your pockets, your tools for something like that. Doing yard work, I think it's totally fine, but they're not stylish. Some people think that jean shorts are cool. Personally, I think they look a bit immature. So what's the best option? In my opinion, it's definitely chino shorts. And in the summer, you might also want to opt for a more cool fabric like linen or a seersucker short. When you're choosing your shorts, you really need to think about the length of the shorts. The way that short lengths are measured, especially when you're buying online, is with the inseam. That just refers to the distance from the bottom of the crotch to the bottom of the short. I would recommend that for a stylish guy, the maximum inseam you want to have is 9 inches. And I would say this is best for people who are a little bit more self-conscious about their legs. Perhaps they don't want to show off too much skin. It's definitely more on the conservative side. For most guys, I think a 7-inch inseam is a really good middle ground. It just shows off the right amount of skin above your kneecap, but they're not going to be super short, and they're certainly not going to be inappropriate in situations where you want to look a little bit more dressed up in your shorts. A 5-inch inseam is great for guys who have put a lot of work into their legs in the gym and they want to show that off. There's a bit of a trend online about short shorts on men. My girlfriend told me they're called hoochie daddy shorts, which is kind of like a slutty type of man, but actually a lot of women will really enjoy seeing more of your legs if you've put in the work. If you don't really like your legs, perhaps you feel a bit self-conscious about them being pale or too hairy or not hairy enough, or you're underweight or you're overweight, then I think a 5-inch inseam might be better. But if you're super confident and you love the way your legs look and you think other people will too, then go for the 5-inch inseam. Now in terms of the colors, I would recommend sticking with the similar base colors to what you would wear with your regular trousers. So that's going to be navy, khaki, olive green, gray. In the summer, white too. I really recommend not going for black shorts for most guys, and it's the same with the t-shirts. See, black just washes most guys out and it doesn't look good with your skin tone. And especially if it's the summer and you're a white guy like me and you haven't had your legs in the sun for a long time, they're going to be really pale looking and just comparing that with the black fabric makes them look even worse. If you pair it with something like khaki or an olive green, it's going to be much more flattering to the skin tone, and that applies to your legs as well as your face and your arms. So I always avoid black in pretty much every situation. That being said, if you have a darker skin tone, it could look really good on you, so I think it's worth trying them on and seeing how that goes. When it comes to sneakers, your sneakers for the casual outfits and going out and about need to be different from the sneakers that you wear actually in the gym or to go running. For most younger guys, I think a white sneaker is a perfect option. To get the most out of these, you need to make sure that they are clean, and you need to replace the laces quite often because the laces get really dirty too. Now for me, leather sneakers are the best, but when it goes a bit warmer, then you might want to go for canvas material, which is going to be a bit cooler on your feet. For example, a pair of low top Converse is going to be much more light on your feet than a pair of Adidas Stan Smiths. If you're a little bit older, or perhaps you don't want to just look like everybody else wearing white sneakers, then you can go for other types of leather sneakers that come in brown and also shades of blue. If you want to really elevate your shorts and t-shirts look, then I think loafers or espadrilles are an even more sophisticated option. Unless you're by the pool, flip-flops are not an elegant option, and I really dislike Birkenstocks too, and they show too much of your toes, so covering all of your feet with a full shoe is always going to be a more sophisticated look. And when it comes to the accessories, I know a lot of you guys really like wearing a baseball cap. If you're going to do that, I think it's best to stick to something plain with no logos and no branding. Sunglasses are often essential, and I suggest that you go for a classic style like Wayfarers or Aviators or Clubmasters. Don't go for those wraparound sunglasses or those Oakleys. You definitely want to be wearing a wristwatch, as you do with every single outfit. And because shorts and t-shirt is quite a casual look, it can be the perfect way to introduce some bracelets, maybe a leather braided bracelet or a chain bracelet. A great way to elevate any outfit, and especially the shorts and t-shirts, is with a belt. Now, maybe most of the belts in your collection are going to be leather belts, and if they are, you want to go with something that has a bigger buckle and a wider strap, because that's going to be more casual. What I think is an even better option though is that you go with a braided belt. It's very soft and pliable, so if you're going to be sitting down and getting up or moving around, it's not going to bother you and it's not going to dig in. And also with the braided belt, there's no loops, so you can just stick it through any point in the fabric, which means you can get a perfect fit and it's going to be really comfortable. If you really want to elevate the look with some added style, throwing a button-down shirt over the top can be a really great thing to do. When you incorporate a second layer, it always adds potential for extra style, and I understand on the hotter days that's not always possible, but a lot of guys also like to wear shorts and t-shirt when it's in the 60s and 70s, and you could maybe need a second layer on top, so a button-down shirt is a great option that's going to look way more sophisticated than a hoodie. Well guys, I hope that you're glad to know that you can keep wearing shorts and t-shirts and sneakers and baseball caps and still look super stylish. And for me, as a guy who tends to go for more formal styles naturally, it's been a good exercise for me, especially living in a hotter climate now, to get used to wearing more casual clothes but being able to do it in an elevated and in a classic manner. Guys, let me know in the comments what is one accessory that you really like to wear with a shorts and t-shirt outfit.